Hi everyone, my name is Veronica and welcome to my channel. I'm super excited to be filming a fun tag video today that was created by the absolutely gorgeous and highly entertaining Ange at 50 Cents UK. If you have not checked out her channel, run over there and subscribe. I get so excited when I see one of her uploads. I enjoy her content. I find her just funny, sincere. She's that girl next door that you'd love to just go hang out with. So please go check her out. The tag is an anti-haul video. So Ange had the idea to transfer this anti-haul idea over to the fragrance community and have us share what it is that we're not interested in picking up and why, in hopes that it would be helpful to you as viewers and also just to have a little bit of fun. Because folks, if we're not having fun with these videos, why are we doing them? We certainly want to make sure that they are entertaining to you and informative in some way. Before we get started, I would like to go ahead and tag some fellow fragrance reviewers here. I have 10 people, so if you are not a reviewer, I hope you'll bear with me while I quickly mention these folks. We don't always make it to the end of videos to see who was tagged, so I want to make sure they hear their name at the start. We're going to go with Maria at Maria Colette, with Francis at Happiness Sparkles, Marcy at Marcelena Theresa, Brooke at Brooke Sosa, Maggie at Totalfashionzents, Julija at Scentsiblingscom, Ceylon Cleo, Kia at Yummy 411, Neesha at Spicy Looks, and Dawn at Bougie Fragrance. I'd love to see these 10 ladies do this tag. I'll leave their channels below. Please go check them out. If you're not familiar with these reviewers, you will absolutely enjoy their content, I think. So let's get into this anti-haul. And I'm not going to go through the disclaimers about not hurting people's feelings and whatever. We're adults, yeah? This is at the end of the day, just scented water in a bottle, no more, no less. We should not have to go through these crazy disclaimers at the end of every video to not hurt grown people's feelings. I can't do it. In fact, I message to my fellow YouTubers, we should not have to constantly be saying, I hope no one's feelings are hurt. This is just my opinion. If you like it, you wear it. Can we just say that those are a given and we shouldn't have to put out those disclaimers? We're on YouTube. I mark my content as not appropriate for people under 18. I do that with the assumption that there are then adults that are watching the channel that can make up their own minds about fragrances. And if I don't like something, they're welcome to go ahead and like it, or vice versa. They may hate something that I love, and that's just part of this review scene. Let's go on. The first fragrance that I want to mention, I think I've heard on some of the other reviewers that have done this tag, and it's Kayali Utopia Vanilla Cocoa 21. So, a few years ago, I got a couple of samples. Was it a few years ago? How long has Kayali been around? I don't really know, but I got a few samples of Kayali with a Sephora order, and I liked them fine, but I never really got into the fragrances. It wasn't until I started my YouTube channel that I actually started to explore this house a bit, and I now have 3 from the line. But this particular Utopia Vanilla Cocoa one, I was really interested in and almost pulled the trigger. The 1.7 ounce, that's the 50 mils, guys. The smaller bottle is $100, which I think is a little bit pricey for what I call a half-size bottle. I love coconut fragrances, love when vanilla is part of a composition to sort of add warmth and sweeten it up some and all of that. However, I started listening to reviews on YouTube about this, and a lot of folks were complaining that it just doesn't have projection or longevity, that it's a beautiful fragrance, but it's very close to the skin. I have my own personal bias about fragrances and cost. Once you get to a certain price point, I really am going to need that performance to justify the price point. It doesn't feel good to me to put out a lot of money for a fragrance and then it just sort of disappears or no one else can smell it. I kind of feel like I've wasted my money, and what's the point? I do have a lot of really beautiful coconut fragrances, and so I just don't feel compelled to add this to my collection at this time. Now, if the price reduces significantly, I certainly will consider it. So that's the one thing I have to say for a number of fragrances I'm going to discuss where the issue is really price point for performance. Price comes down, I'll think about it. But at the current price and you're not bringing the thunder, no thanks, I'll pass. The next fragrance that I was interested in, but I'm going to pass on, is actually another coconut fragrance, and it's called Dirty Coconut by Heretic. So last year I ordered Dirty Grass from Heretic. It's supposed to smell like freshly cut grass with some notes of cannabis, which can be, you know, hit or miss in fragrances. But I like it in Flora Botanica. And so anyway, I was interested in that fragrance, ordered it, sprayed it, and the smell was so faint. Did not project at all, and it disappeared in like 20 minutes or something. And I got really irritated. Once again, you'll see this theme about you want to charge me a decent amount of money for a fragrance, but it doesn't perform. That's a big no for me. I got really disappointed and ended up sending that one back. I'm in this headspace where if I have a poor experience with a fragrance from a specific house, especially once it gets into a higher price bracket, my mind, heart, soul, etc. is kind of turned off from that house like forevermore, unless I hear other people just raving about a fragrance and then I'll get interested in it. But for now, I think I am just going to pass on Heretic fragrances. Another one that I don't think I'm going to be pulling the purchase trigger on, although I've really thought about it, is the fragrance named Bee from Ellis, Brooklyn. This bottle is everything. It is so pretty, that super like golden yellow with the little bee on the label. It's just very aesthetically pleasing to me. I have Salt from that same collection, and I really like that one a lot. B, I ended up getting a travel spray of, and I've been interested, I'll say that, but there's something kind of cloying about it to me. It's a real like honey-based fragrance, very like super sweet in an overwhelming way. I don't mind a lot of sweet, but there's just something like really thick about this fragrance, and sweet in a way that I think I can't get down with for a whole day. I think on my skin for the whole day, it would just feel like way too much. So I think I'm going to be passing on that one. And let's visit the price factor. It's $105 for a 1.7 ounce. Next is one that isn't newer on the market. It's been out for a minute, but it's gotten a lot of hype. And it was one that I was trying to hunt down for the longest time until I actually ordered a sample. It is Greenwich Village from Bond No. 9. I love the Bond No. 9 house. I love the idea that all of the fragrances are in the same bottle shape, but with unique designs on them that represent different streets or neighborhoods in New York. I'm from New York and just adore that whole concept. And I know some people have mixed emotions about Bond No. 9. They can be pricey at retail. Some of the fragrances go for well over $400, which is getting a little crazy for a fragrance price, I admit. But you can usually find Bond No. 9s on sale on the gray market sites. I'd heard so many people raving and raving about it. I was so curious and almost blind bought a bottle, and I'm so glad for this one that I did not. I did try the sample, and it just smelled like stale breath from the mouth of a person who has not opened their mouth for a long period of time during the day. They have not hydrated. Woo! And you walk into their office space or whatever to have a conversation, and you just smell stale breath. I don't know if it was the sample I got. In fact, I'm hoping that it was the sample, because I hear from a lot of very trusted reviewers that they just love it. Or maybe I'm just crazy and have like a weird sense of smell or something. But I'm sorry, Greenwich Village will not be making its way into my collection. Next is another one that isn't, again, the newest on the market. It's been out for a little bit here, and it's Angel Nova from Mugler. One of my favorite fragrance houses. It seems that the house can do no wrong. Whatever they produce, I typically like. And let me say, I do like Angel Nova as well. It was a very pleasant fragrance, but I think that was it for me. So it smells to me a bit generic in the sense that I feel like there are a lot of other fragrances out there that have that sort of same like top note, fruity, tart kind of profile. And I don't need that in my collection, not at the price point. Again, this is another one. If it goes on sale, I may go ahead and pick up a bottle. But at that point, I was looking at it full price in Ulta. And while I enjoyed the scent, it just wasn't unique or different enough for me to want to shell out full retail price for it. So Angel Nova, unfortunately, was a pass. I typically am expecting my Mugler fragrances to be like super sensual, sultry, sexy, and Angel Nova just didn't fit into that like stereotype that I have in my head for the house. So I think for now, I'm gonna pass on Angel Nova, and maybe in the future, pick up a bottle if the price goes down significantly. The next one that I probably won't be picking up anytime soon, but I'm not gonna say it's a complete no, I'm gonna say it's a no for now, is My Way by Giorgio Armani. Here's why. I think the fragrance is gorgeous. I'm a tuberose freak, love anything with tuberose in it, and appreciate what this fragrance brings. It is a little bit generic in the sense that, yes, there are other fragrances that smell like it. That doesn't mean that it, in and of itself, isn't also a beautiful smell. My issue, this is so shallow, and if you've watched my channel, you know I should be the last person talking about this, is the bottle design. I have a lot of fragrances in my collection that have some wackadoodle bottle designs that are so weird that I like them. But the issue with this design is it's so plain. I think Giorgio Armani could have done better with this bottle design, especially considering that this is a fragrance that is out at full retail right now. I haven't been able to locate it at a discount. Again, are you seeing a theme here? If it's discounted, I'll be happy to pick it up. But I'm not trying to pay full price for a bottle that looks this thrown together and basic to me. Now we're going to get into fragrance houses as a whole that I find challenging for one reason or another, and that I am very unlikely to purchase from unless the scent itself is absolutely gorgeous, long lasting, performing, projecting, all of that. Like, I need heavens to open up on some of these price ranges for me. The second house that I find really challenging, and I do have some of their fragrances, is Amouage as a whole. And so I have a very dear, generous friend here on YouTube who sent me a number of samples to try out, a number of decants, and they were interesting. There were some in there that I really enjoyed, and then others that were just so off-putting or so overwhelming. There was something about them that was just too much of everything, like way too deep, dark, mysterious, bizarre, medicinal, green, weird. I don't know. Amouage fragrances as a whole, I appreciate the artistry of perfumery, of course. Love their bottles. The bottles are just precious. The way I feel about it, it comes back to this price thing. I probably should have just named this video value of fragrances or something. Something having to do with pricing. It's a big thing for me, as you see. But with the Amouage fragrances, you know, you can be looking at $250 up to close to $500, depending on how in demand the fragrance is. And I really want to feel like the fragrance is incredibly wearable and enjoyable. And with some of the Amouage fragrances, they're so bizarre. I just have such a hard time with them. That said, there are a few in the collection that I would probably consider, especially if they were on what? Let's say it together, discount. Outside of that, I don't know that I'm going to be paying full Amouage dollars for these fragrances that are just really bizarre, is how I would put it. Strange. But the Amouage hype is real. There are a lot of people that just love the house, collect them, and, you know, more power to them. I just rather save my money for fragrances that I think I'm going to fully enjoy the entire time that I'm wearing them. Continuing up in price point, can we talk about the House of Sillage? So when I first started getting into fragrances, I've always been into fragrances, let's be clear, but I'm talking about like in the YouTube world where I started my channel and really wanted to explore what was out there, you know, get a sense of all the wonderful aroma experiences that were available. I was interested in House of Sillage. Heard a lot of people raving about them, the cupcakes, do I even like cupcakes? I don't like cupcakes. I don't like cupcakes. I barely like cake. I like cheesecake and I do like peanut butter pie and things like that. But just like straight up birthday cake and cupcakes. So anyway, the bottles are cute. They're really precious if you ask me. I made the mistake of going on the House of Sillage website. Hello? Can we talk about the prices on this website? What in the world could possibly cause a bottle to be over $400 in price? The answer is demand. So I know folks want to say, oh, the ingredients, the materials that are used are super high quality. Oh, it's the production process. Oh, it's that, you know, the fragrances, the ingredients for the fragrances are harvested here and there. You know, they're getting them from the tippy top of the Himalayas, or the depths of the Marianas Trench out in the Pacific, or the depths of the rainforest, or there are artisans that are, I don't know. I don't know. These houses that are charging $400, $500, $600, $700 a bottle. And let me pause, time out, to say, it's not that I wouldn't love to also have those bottles. It's just for me a matter of principle. If you want to charge someone $700 for a bottle, there better be something in it that I can't get anywhere else. Something magical better be floating around in that fragrance composition that I can't find anywhere else on this planet, on the moon, on Mars, on the outer rings of Saturn. Do you hear me? So a while back, House of Sillage put out a Disney creation. I am a fanatic for Disney. There is one place I will blow money without thinking about it, and it's Disney. I just love it. I love everything about it. I'll pay those ridiculous prices to get into the park. I'll pay $28 for a drink of water. Yes, I do all of that, but that's my choice, right? And that's what we're talking about here. This is all in good fun, folks. Spend your money where you like. It's your wallet. You do what you want, and I'll do what I want with my dollars. But anyway, House of Sillage came out with this adorable Disney fragrance. But people, this bottle was over $400. I just couldn't. Like, in my heart of hearts, it's not a question of whether I have the $400 to spend or not. It's a matter of principle. How and why does that bottle cost that much? Explain that to me, with the exception of the demand that House of Sillage has created with marketing, as with a lot of brands, right? Most of these brands that are charging you top dollar for things, it's more about the fact that they've been able to market and create a sense of desire and demand for the thing than it has anything to do with the actual cost of the product, like the production cost of the product. Don't get it twisted. That said, if that bottle goes on significant sale, I'm talking over 75% off, I'll probably pick up a couple. But for the most part, House of Sillage is probably not going to be getting a lot of my money. Now, if y'all see me in the future with a cupcake, just forget that I ever said this, okay? Next house. Can we talk about Byredo? Ange talked about this in her video too, and I thought, yes, absolutely. I totally get it. I purchased a sampler set of Byredo, and I spent a lot of time exploring the house. Heard a number of people that I love on YouTube raving about Byredo fragrances. Here's what I have to say about Byredo. The scents are nice. Period. They're just nice. Again, here's another house that is charging premium dollar for a bottle of scented water that for the most part didn't last long. Most of those fragrances were very faint on my skin. Were they all nice? Absolutely. Would I enjoy them if they were in my collection? I sure would. Am I willing to shell out, whatever the price tag is, even on sale, over 150, over 200, over 250 for a very plain bottle? I do not like the Byredo bottle designs with the Mickey Mouse cap on it. I'm sorry, there's something very, for me, aesthetically elementary about the Byredo bottles in a way that is offensive to me if you're going to want to charge me a decent price for those bottles. I'm sorry. I really like the Byredo fragrances. Performance does not justify the price. I can't do it. Bottle design, can't do it. I will buy inspiration fragrances of the Byredos that last a lot longer. I will buy oils from Oil Perfumery of the Byredo scents that project and last a lot longer. That's what I have to say about that. The final fragrance house that I'd like to talk about. Now, I do have some from this house, so let me be honest. It's Lalique. And what I'm getting at is not the more reasonably priced fragrances, but I remember going on Macy's one day when they said, we're having a big fragrance sale. Girl, come on over here and check out our discounted, beauty, fragrance, whatever section. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get my discount on. Get on Macy's. I'm scrolling through. I'm excited. What's on discount? And I always choose the filter where you can go 30% off or more. Love it. Give me a discount. I'm there. I'll spend all my coins on some discounted stuff, even if it adds up to the same as that one other bottle. That's just me. Anyway, I'm scrolling through and I come upon this whole section of fragrances from Lalique, which I know is a crystal company, if I'm not mistaken. And I see these really gorgeous bottles and I'm like, that's beautiful. Love the Art Deco design. Isn't that beautiful? And then I'm checking out prices and I'm like, what? Excuse me? On sale. Macy's 30% off or more sale. Some of these bottles on the top end of the Lalique scale, because they were very affordable ones, right, were over $900. What? $900 to $1,200 to $1,500 to $2,000. That's someone's house payment somewhere. You know what I mean? So folks, those are my anti-haul fragrances and houses. I hope you enjoyed this. It goes without saying that this is all in good fun for entertainment. I really, really hate that anyone feels like they have to do disclaimers about this. And I hope that when you come to watch fragrance, makeup, or any other kind of review videos, that you do so with a light spirit and an open heart just to enjoy. That's it. None of this is ever personal. And with that, I will see you all, my lovely friends, in the next video. Be well and take care.